This morning, before Zach woke up, I went out to buy an engagement ring. I have no fucking idea when I'll give it to him, or if he even likes this kind of corny shit, but I needed to have it so I can give it to him at the right moment. Hey all you cool creatures. I'm Cryptid. Welcome to the CryptidPlays channel. As you may recall, this is the story of Billy, and he is reading his old diary app that he had on his phone about how he was going through a hard time and ended up meeting his favorite rock star, Zach, the frontman for Broken Boner. I'm going to update the content warnings that I tell you a bit. This game contains self-harm, drugs, abuse, suggestive content, and sexual assault / rape. It's not explicit, but it is beyond implied. It is present. You don't see anything, and it's not explained in detail, but it is present, so be aware. I will be, of course, censoring a lot of words, just like I did in the last one, but without further ado, let's continue Billy's story. Earlier, I nearly had a couple of meltdowns, but I kept it together. Zach needs me. And honestly, telling people how bad this crap makes me feel doesn't help anyone. So I'm dumping it here, since you're not going to judge me or feel like crap over it. So Zach woke up, and we ended up talking about Jimmy for a bit. In the end, he actually exposed him online for being a creep. I was a fucking wreck over it, but I got why he did that. He's got a huge platform and wanted to do the right thing. Still, I was shaking. What if Jimmy reaches out again? I never want to hear from him again. I think I might delete my account. Anyway, once he calmed down, I asked him about the breakdown he had earlier, about his sister and everything. I tried to be as gentle as I could, and we shared a smoke while I asked him a few things. In the end, he told me he was from Livernois, Detroit. I told him I was from Delaware. I even got him to talk about his sisters and parents, what happened with them, and it broke me to hear it. His oldest sister left the moment she got married, and the youngest took her own life after everything they went through. The abuse, the pain, she just couldn't carry it anymore. When she died, Zach was the only one left, and all the hurt fell on him. Hearing it made me want to disappear. Made me want to tear apart the people who did that. How could anyone do something so vile to their own kid? I hate them. Every time I look at Zach, it's like a knife in my chest. I want to take care of him, to see him happy. But I can tell he shuts down whenever the topic comes up. He tenses, and it's like I can feel him fighting the urge to consume stuff. I don't know what's right. Should I leave the topic? Maybe if I didn't mention it. But if I don't ask, will it seem like I don't care? Why does everything have to be this damn complicated? I just want to do this right, to be there for him. I don't want him to take drugs anymore. I don't even want it anymore myself, damn it. I don't want to be fucking stoned or passed out when he needs me. I tried to comfort him as we talked, but it didn't really land. He straightened up right away, saying things like, I have to stay strong. Pity and sympathy don't help. I don't even know how to act, so he won't feel like I see him as weak. Got any advice, Demon App? I wish you did. Admittedly, that is part of what a therapist is for. Then he told me he's never really had a true relationship before, just sex and flings. I asked him why he kissed me at the meet and greet. I told him I figure he must have done it with others, that there was no way I was special. But he said that he actually found me special. He got emotional when I told him he saved my life. He said seeing me there, alive, filled him with euphoria, and he just couldn't help but kiss me. Oh, and he told me he loves my smile. Seriously, dude? My smile isn't even pretty, but now I'm glad it is how it is, because he likes it that way. After that, we ended up in another intimate moment. I swear, this trip could fill a whole book. It seems that we can't take our hands off of each other. But we stopped ourselves, and I told him how lucky I feel just to share that kind of closeness with him. How happy it makes me to think that when we're ready, I'll be able to make love to him. God, that's the cheesiest thing I've ever said in my life. But I don't even care anymore. How could I not talk to him like that? He even pulled my shirt off again, just to look at my chest, because he loves it. I honestly can't believe how lucky I am. Eventually, we got it together and checked our phones, looking at everyone's reactions to us being together. Zach showed me his, and that's when the whole damn mess kicked off. That idiot Matt was trash-talking him for being with me. Guess I wasn't wrong about him. The guy's a total jerk. I asked Zach for permission and sent Matt a voice message threatening him. Like, if he makes Zach cry again, I'll rip his fucking head off. So Zach was affected, obviously, and he started talking to me about Matt and the relationship he has with him. Apparently, he confessed some time ago, but Zach rejected him because he sees Sarah, Joey, and Matt as siblings, and in fact, Sarah and Matt actually are. It made me feel a little insecure that Matt likes Zach, but I want to let go of that feeling because it's useless. At that moment, I had to listen to Zach and not be distracted by my own insecure person shit. He goes on to explain that he has mistreated him many times, but he tells it as if it were completely normal. He doesn't even call it abuse. He just talks about it like it's something that happens when he gets angry. Dude, he left him freezing once in short clothes, abandoned him in a ditch, and drove away. Some random strangers had to take him to town and also forced him to have sex with him. The worst part is that the first thing he says while telling me that atrocity is that he hopes I'm not some kind of paparazzi planning to post it online. He also laughs and says it's just Matt things. I was so angry I could have killed Matt just by seeing him. Damn fucking rapist. Zach went crazy trying to downplay it, but I didn't stop telling him all that shit is so wrong. Everything this useless guy had done was monstrous, and I wanted Zach to realize it's not normal to keep talking or being friends with someone who did that to you. At that moment, I realized my parents were right, and I couldn't see that before. Even having it all easy now and access to therapy, I rejected it all. I have to call them and apologize at some point, but right now I don't feel capable at all. I guess therapy has helped me see what's wrong. I see it when it happens to someone else. That's something good, I think. Yes, it is. We finally got here after days on the road, and the moment I saw Matt, I punched him right in the face and felt his nose crack. My knuckles are wrecked, but I couldn't care less. What gets me back is Zach having a panic attack after seeing what I did. I had to pick him up off the floor and carry him back to our room. Before I left, I told the other two that if in one day Matt's already given me reasons to smash his face in and they're still acting like nothing happened, then they're complicit in the abuse, and just as much of abusive bastards as he is. I don't care if they hate me. I don't care about Broken Boner anymore. Everything I believed in turned out to be a damn lie. The only thing that's real here is Zach, and I'm going to protect him with everything I've got. After that punch and taking Zach upstairs, I was bracing for a huge fight with Zach, maybe even for him to leave me. But honestly, I didn't care. That bastard deserved that, and so much more for what he did to Zach. The thing is, on the way up, I was shaking. Scared doesn't even begin to cover it. I couldn't even feel the pain in my hand. Later, the doctor said my fingers were completely shattered. Lol. When we got to the hotel room, Zach looked at me in a way that completely floored me. Then he just threw himself at me, kissing me with a desperate, hungry intensity. It shocked me. But then he told me no one had ever stood up for him before, and he never thought anyone would. While we were in the middle of the frenzy, Sarah came to take me to the doctor, and speak of the devil, there he was. We ended up screaming at each other because Matt punched Zach when he stepped in to defend me, and they had to hold me back so I wouldn't smash his face again. I've never been a violent person, but this whole thing just completely pushes me over the edge. While the doc was treating me, I saw Zach by the window shooting up. It broke me. Just a few hours earlier, we were okay, and now we were right back here. In the end, I gave in too. I took what I still had in my pockets and cried as I watched him, like the whole world was caving in on me. I'd never cared about using, never cared if anyone else did either. Nothing had ever mattered to me like this does now. Zach was wrecked. He came to me while the doctor was still patching me up, trying to explain that Matt had been through a lot, like I cared what that worthless piece of trash had suffered. He said they all put up with Matt, that he didn't want to throw him out because the others would have a hard time, and he didn't want Sarah left alone with him. Unreal. Unreal. In the end, everyone's afraid of Matt. Nobody does anything. And everyone justifies and defends him. Fantastic. Zach just kept crying and promising me he'd do something, that he'd fix it, like it was his fault. I hate this. I hate seeing him suffer like this. He doesn't deserve it. More things have happened, let me tell you. After all the drama from the punching situation, we went to take a shower, and Zach asked me to get in the bathtub with him. I didn't give a damn about my hand, like, at all, but Zach seemed worried and attentive about it. We talked for a while in the shower, and the poor guy seemed more worried about the fact that I wasn't thrilled about joining the band and playing with them at the concert than about what had just happened. I'd even say he hadn't fully accepted it. Ugh. In the end, he got anxious again and started asking me to smile, and asking me about what he had to do so I'd be happy. It hurt a lot to see him like that, but it's not his fault at all. He doesn't have to do anything for me. Damn. I told him, but he kept worrying that he was messing my life up, and even said he saw me sadder and more tired than the day we met. He remembered how excited I was to be part of the band, and it hurt him not to see that excitement now because of all this. Then I ended up getting into the mental loop. I realized I couldn't be on top if I wasn't high. I think it means on top of it, like reactive or something. That he expected my reactions to be different, and I got out of the bathtub to find what I had left, get high, and make the situation better for him. Zach threw all my drug shit on the floor and told me he didn't want to see me smile because I was high, that he wanted to see me happy naturally. Easier said than done. I got annoyed, but I listened and went back to the bathtub, although it pisses me off because he was literally wasted in that moment and had just drunk half the fucking mini bar. Plus, he was asking me to be at 100 per 100 because he felt bad seeing me sad. I had no idea how I could not be sad in that situation without getting high, honestly. In the end, it gave me an anxiety attack, and Zach tried to calm me down, saying he was going to talk to Matt so he could go on a hiatus for a while so I could relax. That I could relax. Oh my god. We talked about it for a while, and in the end I managed to make him understand that he had to do it for himself and not for me. And I think I made him think because he stayed quiet for a long time and finally told me he would do it. The pride I felt was indescribable, and I thought the next thing I had to achieve was for Zach to understand that he only deserves affection and care, and that it's not okay for him to accept people abusing him as normal nor acceptable. I was thinking on that like a dumbass when I noticed that Zach had a strange look, so I ended up asking him. I noticed he was conflicted in his head from the way he was fidgeting and looking around. In the end, he started crying because, according to him, everything that had happened was his fault, and now everything was ruined. Then he kissed me on the lips and out of nowhere said, "I think I'm in love with you." I couldn't believe it at all, but I answered with the absolute truth. I'm in love with you, Zach. I don't care that it doesn't make sense that we've known each other so little. I'm in love with him. We made love. Yes, I know we said we would take it slow, but after confessing our love to each other, things got a little out of hand. I'm not going to go into details, or maybe I will, I don't know. But we spent a long time caressing each other and telling each other how much we loved each other. And man, the way he looked at me was, damn, I can't even explain it. You can really tell that what he feels for me is real, and that overwhelms me a lot, but I wouldn't change it for anything. I cried a lot. I realized that I cry about everything, and it doesn't bother him, so I'm going to stop holding back so much. Zach kept saying dirty things to tease me, and I went along with it. But I don't know why it's hard for me to say these things to Zach. I feel like he only deserves nice words. It hurts me. I don't know. It hurts a little to sexualize him so much, even though I know he likes it so much. Anyway, I did my best to make how I felt about that not noticeable, and I even tried to be more verbal than usual because I know he hates silence at these moments. Maybe that's why he says those things. Anyway, after all this, he prepared me. He prepared me gently. Yes, he prepared me. Hey, prep is very important for it to feel good and be a fun time, so I approve of this. My God, no one had ever taken the moment to prepare me. I couldn't believe it. He treated me so well. So well. My God, I have no words. It was beautiful, and I will remember it for the rest of my entire life. When he did it, I didn't even feel pain. Not even a little. Then we switched, and I put all my effort into making him feel as good. Preparing him, holding him in my arms, giving him everything of me, so there'd be no doubt about how I feel. Damn, it was beautiful. I still don't understand how we managed to pull out something so damn perfect when neither of us had ever had a good experience before. But this made me realize many things, I assure you. The best thing of all is that we always ask each other for permission for everything, and far from spoiling the mood, it makes everything even better. I've also realized that I'm trying to speak better. I don't want to keep being so foul-mouthed. I don't mind saying a few cuss words, but I don't like referring to Zach and the things we do in intimacy as f*** or dick and that stuff. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to. Honestly, the fact that he lets me make some choices really scares me. I'm terrified of messing up, of making him angry, or hating me and leaving. I don't want him to leave. We've talked about it. He told me he wants me to trust him. I haven't told him why, but with Jimmy, I always just did what he wanted. I could never suggest anything. And with Aaron, well, let's just say I had no say at all. Zach has asked me to do things my way, not to overthink so much, but I'm really nervous. He's very active and sexual. I am too, but I think in a different way. because all I can think of are sweet, affectionate ways of doing it, hugging him, kissing him constantly. I feel myself boring, and I don't want him to get bored of me. Today, I told Zach that he's hotter than a Twix bar. I'll never get over that. That's a funny one. Zach told me that we will love each other more as we heal together. We will love each other in a healthier way as we get better with ourselves. He's right. Then he said that we are wounds that are halfway healed, and that the scars that remain when those wounds heal depend on us. Today I realized that Zach kisses more the parts of me that are hurt, and I think that's beautiful. Aww, that's cute. Zach never shows jealousy or fear that we'll break up. Sometimes I feel really silly for being so scared that he'll leave and stop loving me, because he never doubts anything for even a second. I also feel bad sometimes for being jealous of the way he dresses, because everyone looks at him. It overwhelms me at times. I do hope he gets over that. But I've never said anything to him, and I won't. I don't want to be that toxic, and in the end, the problem is mine, not his. He's always been like this, and his personality is what makes him so unique. Zach set up a bath for the both of us and got angry because the bath bomb was taking forever to dissolve. That's cute. I forgot to mention that he bathed me with soap. I think it's the most intimate thing I've ever done with anyone in my life. The silly guy told me that since we spent the whole day in the shower, we could change the group name and call it Shower After Sex. He said it as a joke, but I love it, honestly. It's actually, that is a fun little name. I would totally listen to a band named that. Zach told me where the name Broken Boner came from. I'm not going to explain here what it means, but it made me want to throw up. He explained it to me and then laughed, as if it were funny. He tried to play it down, but when he saw my face, he himself stopped laughing and said, "It's not funny, right?" When I hugged him, he confessed that he had never been able to tell when he was being forced and when he wasn't, because he had never known anything else. But that since we have been together, he is realizing that things are not like he thought, and that they have hurt him much more than he believed. I understood very well what he was trying to say, because I myself have gone through a similar process. now I really appreciate having gone to therapy and the year I have spent without having sex, since I used it as a way of self-destruction. I feel that with this small advantage, I can give him better advice. I hope it helps him. I proposed to him that if he needs to be without intimacy for a while until he manages to reach some conclusions, he just needs to tell me. I said that as a way to help him feel better, but he told me that having intimacy with me is the only thing that makes him feel better about it. So I will always pay attention to his expressions and his gestures, so I won't make him feel bad for even a second. He needs therapy. I need it too. What a fucking fool I've been. Fuck. You'll get better together. We've spent hours taking care of each other and giving each other affection before going to sleep. I will be centering this a teeny bit. It's not sexual, but he is naked, so this has, without a doubt, been the best thing that's ever happened to me in my fucking life. This morning, before Zach woke up, I went out to buy an engagement ring. I have no fucking idea when I'll give it to him, or if he even likes this kind of corny shit, but I needed to have it, so I can give it to him at the right moment. That's cute. Aaron wrote me today after seeing the picture with Zach. Zach saw it, and it seemed to me that it was the right moment to explain some things about Aaron, that I dropped out of high school, that I spent months at his place shooting the shit he gave me, and that all the memories that I have of that time are blurry because of it. I roughly told him what he did to me and all that. I told him about what happened in that alley, the fact that because of that, someone found me on the street, and when they took me to the hospital, they discovered everything my parents had done to me, on top of what Aaron himself had done. I left out a lot of details. I also pointed out the scars Aaron left on my ribs. For a moment, I was afraid it would disgust Zach to be with me after explaining all of that, honestly. But it wasn't like that at all. Right after I finished telling him the whole story, Zach recorded a super weird Instagram story. And right after that, we went to perform that night's concert. I did not expect at all what Zach was going to do at that concert. He sang an unreleased song he wrote when he was still living with his parents. The song is the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard in my damn life, for real. And after singing it, with everyone stunned out of surprise, Zach gave a super energetic speech against abuse and exposed Matt right there on stage, and also, apparently, ordered the staff that the names of Aaron, Jimmy, and his parents be shown on the screens. Now everyone knows they're abusers, and that's why he posted the story earlier. so people could record everything and share it everywhere to spread the names and what they did. I can't believe how damn brave he has been. Just a few hours ago, he was saying it's just Matt things, and now he has publicly exposed him in front of all his followers. I can't believe how proud I am of him. Zach got completely smashed, overwhelmed by the nerves from having confronted Matt so directly. He's wrecked, drowning in anxiety. He took so much stuff that he wet himself. I had to rush him to the room. We went from 0 to 100 really fast, and now he's scared. It's like he jumped off of a cliff without a parachute. I tried to calm him by singing, and it worked again. It makes me really happy that my voice soothes him so much. I took him to bed to take care of him and be there for him. Honestly, I'm literally doing everything I can, but I've never been this scared before, never felt so small and vulnerable. I feel like a damn child. If I screw up and lose this person, I'll die. I wish I were smarter or wiser, or at least not a damn junkie. I want to be what Zach needs. I've decided I'm not going to take drugs anymore. I want to be sober for him. He needs me. And even if he keeps doing his thing, I won't give in. I'm tired of seeing us like this. I'm tired of seeing him suffer and not being able to do anything to stop it, because I'm using too. What right do I have to worry about what he does if I'm doing the same? I'm fed up. I want to be a better person. Zach asked me to bring him some water. I'm going to get him water and food from a vending machine nearby, and then I'll make sure he eats and stays hydrated and gets some rest. He must be completely wiped out. I think this next entry has to do with rape. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I'll put a timestamp on the screen. I'll have a chapter select so you can go past it, but just be aware it does play into the story. But if you want to skip the scene specifically, it is pretty it's a pretty emotionally charged scene. It's not explicit, but you know. Anyhow, yeah. I'll put the timestamp on the screen. Fuck. What just happened? I can't even explain it. No. Fuck. I want to die. Fuck. No, 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 no. I have to record this because I'll need it for the trial. Matt raped Zach. I left the room for 10 minutes. 10 fucking minutes to go to the vending machine and bring Zach some water after his overdose. And when I got back to the room, that son of a fucking bitch was on top of Zach, and he couldn't do anything because he was high. Everything. I lost track of time, And when I came to, I had destroyed Matt, mostly his face and his genitals. I doubt he'll ever be able to use them again. Afterwards, I had a hysterical breakdown and started apologizing to Zach for having left the room. And Zach even had to comfort me after what had just happened to him. I swear I will never leave him alone ever again. Absolutely never, for fuck's sake. So if you did skip, Matt assaulted Zach. And yeah, so that is what happened. Later at the hospital, that fucking doctor treated Zach badly, rough and without care. I had to threaten him before we went into the room to make sure he treated him properly, while Zach was already inside, waiting to be examined. Seeing him lying there while the doctors examined him, the way he looked at me as if he was waiting for me to rescue him and take him away, it was the most horrible thing I've ever lived through. When we went to get a taxi, I called the hotel. I asked them to pack our things and send them to another hotel. I wasn't going to take Zach to that shitty room again. I booked a suite in a nice hotel. I spent almost all of my savings. It won't change anything, but I want him to be as comfortable as possible right now. I brought him to the room and tried to make him as comfortable as possible so he could rest if he wanted to. I also told him that if anything I do ever makes him even slightly uncomfortable, to tell me so I can stop immediately. Zach was devastated and asked me if he was dirty. I want to die for not having prevented this. I'm fucking trash. I ordered dinner for him, the fried chicken he likes so much, but he didn't eat anything. I hope tomorrow it still tastes good and he likes it just the same. He let me apply the ointment, and I cried so much when I saw the state of the area. I can't believe just a few hours ago none of this had happened. I moved my hands to touch him several times when he sat back up, but I pulled them away out of fear. What if I make him uncomfortable? In the end, Zach asked me why I wasn't touching him, and my world just fell apart. He even asked me to try to act normal if I can, because the fact that I avoid touching him makes it worse for him, because it makes him more aware that everything has changed. And he doesn't want anything between us to change over something that isn't our fault. I felt so fucking guilty for not thinking of that in the first place. He deserves me to be more intuitive. Fuck. I never know what the right thing to do is. I feel so powerless. I mean, you're only human. We had a moment together where I hugged him when he asked me to, and he told me he doesn't understand why I put myself on the same level as Matt when I didn't do anything. I told him I'm afraid he'll end up blaming me for what happened, the way I'm blaming myself. After a while crying and talking, Zach told me he needed to sleep, to take something to relax. I refused to give him drugs, but I gave him a tranquilizer and sang to him again. That always calms him down a lot. In the end, he told me he was scared, but that he wanted to take his clothes off, and that he wanted us to touch each other normally, like we always did. Of course, I helped him with that, and I stayed there caressing him for hours, until he fell asleep. When I noticed his breath getting heavier, I was on my knees on the bed, over his body, and at that moment, when he could no longer see me, I broke down. I cried, and I thought about shooting up. I thought about it really hard. I was waiting to be alone to do it, but I didn't, because what if he woke up and couldn't count on me? The thought terrified me. So without even fully realizing it, I stayed in that same position over his body on my knees, just watching him sleep until the sun came through the window and Zach woke up. I wasn't even aware of all the hours I spent like that. I was just in shock. Zach got worried about me and asked me to sleep, but I'm not going to. I have to take care of him. I can't fail him now. Zach keeps insisting that he needs things to feel normal, and I'm feeling miserable for not even being able to give him that. He told me we both need it, that I need him to be like he was before, and he's right. I need to see him smile again, to see him feel safe, unafraid to take his clothes off, not curled up and terrified. This is fucking hell. Zach asked me to bathe with him, and I've been washing him and holding him for hours in the tub. I kept thinking while Zach's body melted into my arms that after a lifetime of doubts and anguish over not understanding the reason for my existence, I've realized I was born for this moment, to be there for Zach right now, to be his support, so he wouldn't be alone again after so many times of being left alone before. The truth is, I like my purpose, and I'm happy I lived long enough to see it fulfilled. I talked with Zach again. He was wondering why this time hit him so much harder than the others. We came to the conclusion that it's because he hadn't experienced anything different, nor was he fully aware of what it all meant. And also because Matt was like a brother to him, and the pain of him abusing him again has been unbearable. Zach almost told me he didn't go to the meet and greet where we met, that he didn't feel like going at all. It's kind of funny to think that if Zach hadn't gone, I'd be dead right now. I told him that, but he didn't find it funny. I should have thought before saying it. I really shouldn't laugh about wanting to die. Thinking that we might have never met hurts like hell. I also told him that I admire him so much because he's strong and clings to life with everything he's got. He's my inspiration every single day of my life. I also told him that he could light up fucking hell itself. Zach said that, for me, he would. I told him he's been lighting up my hell ever since the day we met. What we have is like a damn movie, I tell you. Fucking Twilight. While I get the analogy, I would say this would be more like a way better movie than Twilight. We've made progress with his fear of undressing. He asked me to touch him like before, without so much fear. He told me he needs it, and that he's not afraid of me. Fuck. Thank God Zach says what he's thinking. If he were like me, I wouldn't know what to do. When I woke up, I almost freaked out because Zach wasn't in bed, and I went running around like a damn monkey looking for him until I found him in the bathroom. He had cut and dyed his hair. He looks gorgeous, but he actually did it because he didn't recognize himself in the mirror. He told me he doesn't feel okay and asked me to shave his head. In the end, he didn't want me to do it, but he started crying really hard, and he hadn't cried at all since everything happened. It's only been a few weeks, but seeing him cry actually brought me some relief. He needs to let it out. Through tears, he asked me if I'd still love him even if he's not as sexy anymore. I don't even understand how he can think something like that. But he says he doesn't want to dress provocative like before. That he's scared and doesn't recognize himself. That he's afraid I won't find him handsome anymore. I need to help him more, but I don't know how. Zach pulled me aside to tell me that I need to be more aware that I saved him from Matt and that he sees me as his savior, and absolutely doesn't blame me for going out to buy the drinks he asked for. The truth is, it really relieved me, and I felt like a heavy weight was lifted off my chest. Today, we talked about how we don't even know each other's full names or birthdays. We've talked about so many things and faced so many problems that we haven't had time to learn such a basic detail about each other. Zachary Abraham Dankworth? I know this is like a serious moment, but that's a hilarious name. The Dankworth part, the rest of the name is normal. His name is Zachary Abraham Dankworth, and his birthday is June 20th. I confessed to Zach that I'm very upset and disgusted that his friends aren't here supporting him. Zach agreed with me and asked if I could manage his phone for a few days. He's still deciding whether we'll do the next concert or not. We've already canceled a few of the concert dates we'd announced. He wants to do it, but he's scared and terrified of being in front of thousands of people. He doesn't know if the news leaked and isn't ready to face all that shit. Of course, I gladly took care of his phone and handled his things. It's the least I can do. Sarah talked to me. We spent a while chatting, and she told me she wants to help me win the trial, that she has evidence against Matt, and she's going to send me a video, but Zach can't see it. She sent me the video. I can't believe what I just saw. That can't be. My love. My life. I didn't know how to handle the video of Matt doing that to Zach while he was high. How could that bitch know all this and have that damn video on her phone and do nothing? She's a monster. I want to kill her. Damn it. I went to the bathroom to calm down and left Zach's phone on the table. I don't know how the hell I can handle that atrocity because I couldn't talk to Zach about it. I couldn't let him see it. I cut myself a lot. I'm weak. I've also vomited everything I've eaten today. When I came out of the bathroom, on top of that, Zach had seen the damn video because I was in shock and had left the phone on the table. Damn, I'm not even good for that. I'm damn useless. Zach was devastated by the video and wanted to get high. For the first time, I told him that I'm scared every time he does drugs, and he was surprised. He asked me if I'm scared of him smoking weed, and I told him I'm not, so we smoked together. I don't feel that bad because weed isn't that bad, and I understand that this is a freaking horrible moment. He must be freaking out over everything that piece of shit has done to him. We stayed silent for a while because honestly, words were unnecessary. I've been thinking about how insufficient I'm being and how little I'm helping. At least I'll manage all his calls and all the trial stuff. It's the least I can do for him. Zach broke the silence to tell me he didn't know that him doing drugs made me suffer, that I should have told him earlier. He said he was afraid I would only like him for who he is when he's high, and he apologized. I moved closer to him to hug him tightly, and we stayed like that for a while. We'll get through this. Alright, I had intended to finish Broken Boner in this video, but I'm actually going to split it into one more video instead. I do have all of it recorded, but because it's a kinetic novel instead of a standard visual novel, which means that there are no choices or additional endings, the recording is just a lot of me reading straight through without a lot of variation, so it's kind of a lot to edit through. I'm sure you all could hear how bad my allergies got in some spots, which means that I tend to do a lot of line retakes to mitigate how congested my voice sounds. So that's just kind of a lot to edit through. Before I go, let me do my channel member shout out. Thank you so much to my channel members for your support. Not only does it help me, it helps the channel grow and the videos keep coming. I truly appreciate it. If you all made it this far, thank you all for watching the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.